welcome to the Energy Within podcast with Shalyn and Catherine, where we talk about womanhood, motherhood, spirituality, and more.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about integrating wild, light, and dark masculine energies into the sacred masculine archetype, being energy within you.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're feeling much better about this now.
Yeah.
We were going to film last week and we were just like, not there.
It was not.
So
It was not clicking.
but it's clicked now.
It's clicked now. We've
Yes.
got some lovely analogies.
We love analogies.
We love analogies for those visuals in your brain.
If this happens to be your first time with us, I'm going to heavily encourage you to go listen to the feminine parts first, because we're going to be
you should listen to all of them.
You should listen to all of them, yeah, for sure. We're going to be heavily referencing the sacred femme episode to kind of like bring the sacred unity together.
Yep.
So some things may or may not make sense based on if you haven't seen that yet. So if you haven't, push pause, go see it.
Get on it.
Okay, but if you are caught up, come along on this journey with us.
Yeah.
Which
It's literally a journey.
It's literally a journey.
Yeah.
Will you please take us on the beginning of the journey? Set us up.
Okay.
Give
All
us a
right.
picture.
So I had the analogy of a car, and you've got three brothers, which represents the three masculine energies. We've got Wild, who is driving the car. He's on his way. He's moving forward, right? We've got Light in the passenger seat. He is checking the map and checking the time and making sure that we're reaching all the destinations on time and on point, and we've got a clear picture of the plan overall. And then we've got Dark Masculine, who's in the back, and he is checking for safety. Basically, he's checking to see if the weather's changing, if something's coming up on the road, or if there's a accident ahead or something and they have to take a detour, right? So he's protecting and keeping a watchful eye on the car and his brothers inside.
My eyes glazed over because I was just picturing Cillian Murphy just like man spreading in the backseat of the car, and I was just like,
yeah,
here but not here.
Yeah, he is Dark Mask.
Yeah,
so well.
Anyway,
so they're in the car, right? And they are on a journey. It's a lifelong journey, but it's definitely one that is achievable and reachable. And that is to reach the all-encompassing sacred masculine tree.
I don't know how to be a tree.
Okay.
How to be a tree.
So we've got, once they reach their destination, you have the tree. So for reference again, we've got the roots, which is your wild. They spread, they grow wild, but they give you a firm foundation. And then you've got Dark, which is the trunk. It's the protector. It's always there. It's got scars. It's seen some shit. It's the backbone, basically, of this masculine energy. And then you've got the Light Masculine, which is the branches and the leaves, and it's always growing up and out for clarity and purpose and all that good stuff.
Expansion,
yes. So that is the destination of your masculine.
Absolutely. Nailed it. Well fucking done.
Thanks.
Yes. So that is the journey. That's the journey. That is our purpose
and
our
destination.
And our destination.
Yes.
So we all have these masculine energies inside of us.
Yes.
To get a little bit scientific for a second. Scientific.
Not a scientist.
We all have these energies inside of us, and they are fractured to some degree or another. And our point is to first get them in the car, which I think is like admitting we have a fucking problem.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Everybody
We're going on a road trip.
Get in the car.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I just see them like grumping and groaning. I don't want to be in the car.
Yeah. Oh, do I near you?
I don't want to be near you.
Yeah. And then
don't
just
talk
like
to me.
Who's gonna drive, and them fucking fighting over who's gonna drive.
Yeah. Calling shotgun.
Yeah. So the first step is to like, okay, kind of recognizing that you have this masculine energy inside of you, and getting the brothers in the car in the correct order they're supposed to be in.
Yes.
So maybe your masculine energy is already in the car, but the wrong brother is driving. Okay. We don't need Dark driving. He shouldn't be driving because he will be too controlling. He's not gonna get you forward in the ways that you need to get forward.
If it's a wounded Dark, he probably won't even start driving. Like he's just like, it's safe. It's more safe to just stay here
Yeah.
inside the car than to go anywhere else.
Oh my god, yeah, no,
Right?
good metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't even like back out of the fucking garage.
No,
You're right.
Like he'd get in the car and he wouldn't move.
Yeah.
He's not meant to be the driver.
Yeah. And Wild should not be in the backseat because he is too crazy. He's going to be looking at his phone, picking songs.
Like he'd be
like
antsy, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to like sit still. He wants to go.
Yeah.
And move and
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only brother who could really sit in the back other than Dark is Light.
Potentially.
Because he can still read the map from the backseat.
If he's wounded though, would he turn into like a backseat driver?
1000%.
Like, no, we did that turn.
Yeah. Absolutely. So they do need to sit where they need to sit. So yeah,
tell them
sit this way.
Sit this way.
Yeah, and it is important for Wild to be the driver because he is the one who propels you forward.
Yeah.
He is the forward momentum.
He is the movement
in your life.
Yeah,
just as the same way that Wild Femme is the momentum also in your life, right? So, but she needs to be on the dance floor, not on the table or in the box.
Yes. So, yes.
Referencing the important things. Another metaphor that we used for the sacred
and then we expanded on so much better. so much better.
Would you like to do the corporation?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do the corporation.
I do. I'm just leading the analogies today. Okay. It's fantastic.
Please explain the expansion.
Okay, so we had the corporate building of Sacred Femme. I think we called it Sacred Femme Inc., but now we've renamed it. It's Sacred Corp.
Yeah, Sacred Union Corp, whatever.
Sacred Corp. I just like Sacred Corp.
I like it.
We want simple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Sacred Corp. And we've got the 4 levels. Okay, it's a 4-story office building. We've got Wild on the main floor. We've got
I think that's
Light,
good, yes.
Right? Yeah, we've got Light in the second floor. We've got Dark on the 3rd floor, and then we've got the top, which is the Sacred Union, the meshing of feminine as well as masculine. Okay, so we've expanded on it now. So we've got Wild, Masc, and Femme on that 1st floor. We've got Light, Masc, and Femme. We've got Dark, Masc, and Femme, and then we have the head departments of all of those levels.
Yes.
And they go up to the top and have board meetings.
Yes.
They have board meetings.
And I love it.
About your sacred union and how your corporation is working.
Yes. And it's brilliant.
It's so pretty. I love it.
So we highly suggest that you like sit down with your internal 6 energies and have that board meeting. And we're so loud. We're so excited.
We're so excited.
Have the board meeting. Figure out like who needs to go on vacation. Who needs a new deadline. Who, whatever.
Hear them out.
Yeah.
Write notes, right?
Yeah.
You are the CEO of this, right? They're all just the managers.
Yes.
They're the managers.
Yeah.
And you've got you're the CEO, so you need to listen to what they're trying to tell you, because nobody can be a good employee if you're not going to be a good manager, and a good manager listens to their employees.
Yes. And of course, in real life, that means like going to therapy, doing your journaling, doing your checking in, setting your boundaries, having fun, things like that. All of the things that we always talk about, that is how you get your fractured repaired, whether we're repairing our feminine scale or we are forming our masculine tree. Yes. So that is our 2 like main metaphors, but we have a 3rd baby metaphor. Which was an unexpected metaphor from our Sacred Femme episode.
Keep like building on this. How else can we just draw this picture for you?
Well, they all work in their own ways.
I know. It's just funny.
This one though came out of fucking nowhere for us
really
in the Sacred Femme episode. So the Sacred Masc metaphor that we're building on here is the tool belt that you might remember.
Yes.
So we even said this in our Sacred Femme episode. It was like, there has to be more than 3 tools.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
So we're having more tools for your tool belt.
We got more tools.
Yes. So just a quick refresher for Femme energy. We have Light, Wild, and Dark. They each get a tool. For Light, it was a flashlight. For Wild, it was a tape measure because...
because they go crazy.
Yeah.
Just let them go.
But then also direction, right? She tells you how far to go.
Yeah.
So there's also
I know.
I know, that's why I said
it. It works.
And then Dark is the hammer, because she breaks down fucking walls and tears through shit. So then on the flip side,
we've got the masculine
the
energies.
masculine tools.
The masculine tools.
Please share.
Yes, okay. So we've got wild masculine. He's got the headphones with the music. So he's your headphones.
Yeah.
He's jamming along, right? He's got something that you can groove to while you do. The light is a screwdriver because it's precise and...
So reminder here that the light masculine energy is the king, right? The King Arthur. Yes. So he knows where to go and he knows how to get there.
Yes.
Right? He's the navigator.
Yes.
So when you need to put a screw in something, in something, you need the right head, right? He knows which head to pick.
Yes.
We were talking about like a utility screwdriver.
Yeah.
Which, sometimes you need like the starry shaped one and the
Phillips
and the flat heady one. And
that was just flathead.
Okay.
The square is a Robertson.
Listen, I'm a girl.
I'm just learning all of this.
I'm a girl.
I don't know why the flathead doesn't have a cool like man name. Phillips, Robertson, flathead.
Flathead. Well, I know some flatheads, but that's not the point. Anyways, so there's that, and it is just like gets in there and gets it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. The proper way.
The proper way.
That's your light masculine energy.
There's only really one way, right? Like you need a screwdriver, and screws come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes, right? So you need the certain one, and you got to know which one you need.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then the dark masculine is the safety glasses because he's protecting you and keeping you safe.
Yeah.
And
what the fuck? Wet ingredients and dry ingredients.
Hey, look, we have more analogies.
We have one more analogy for you.
One more analogy. This one's quick and easy, okay? So, when you are baking a cake or muffins, you typically have specific ingredients, right? You've got flour, eggs, milk, oil, baking soda, sugar. There's 6 ingredients.
There is.
Like basic cake. 6 ingredients, okay? Those are your ingredients. 6 ingredients, and there's usually 3 wet and 3 dry. So the wet ones are feminine energies, and you mix those 3 together, okay? And then you have the dry ingredients, which is your masculine energies, and you mix those together. And then you mix the 2 together, and then boom, you got a cake.
And you cannot make a cake with just dry, and you cannot make a cake with just wet.
No, you can't. You literally need those 6 ingredients. Like key fucking ingredients.
Yeah.
I'm a chef.
She's a professional.
I'm an amateur.
But yeah, so that really helps click it all together, that you really need both. It doesn't matter what kind of cake you're baking, aka it doesn't matter what kind of person you are.
No.
You need
those things.
The balance of in wet and dry.
You need those things
to make
the balance
the cake.
You can't just throw them all in the same bowl willy-nilly. It doesn't mix right.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've never cared about that. I've never been like flabbergasting.
Oh my god.
I've never like it makes another bowl dirty. You're supposed to put your dry in one and your wet in one. I've never done it in my life. Hopefully one of those 500 analogies is good in your brain and helps you click the clicks.
And if not, I hope it was just entertaining to watch.
Yes. So, returning slightly to the Sacred Femme episode, just to remind you that sacredness, right? The bringing together, the mending, as you often say, is about reclaiming your wild, owning your dark, and embracing your light. We talked about it in the Sacred Femme episode. It's the exact same principles for your sacred mask, because it's just the other side of the coin. So your sacred mask, when he is the tree, after we get out of the car and we have gone on the journey. So sacred mask is the knowing when to be still and when to move. It's right, because our masculinity in our bodies, if it's wounded, can lead to like that hustle culture type thing, right? Where we go until we burn out. And that's why we need the feminine to tell us when to slow and when to rest and things like that. So sacred masculine, he stands in stillness. He knows when to stand in stillness, right? He wields a sword with purpose. So he doesn't wield the sword or the knife or whatever to harm anybody, cut anybody down. He's got this block of marble and he uses it to carve out greatness and beauty and amazingness, whatever. And then the dark masculine, when he is, on his way to becoming sacred, he has reached sacredness or whatever, he is there to guard the heart and the mind and the soul. So it's the idea of the trunk of the bark, right? It's protecting the root system, it's protecting the leaves and the everything. He never moves. He's that guard outside the cave that we talk about, right? That beautiful vision. I love that one. Of just this guy standing there, keeping you safe, keeping you, making space for you, making sure you're safe, and that's inside you, right? So when it all works together, it's this beautiful energy, obviously, that is there to support your feminine energy. And one of the things that I've been trying to figure out on this journey that we've been on since October now, well, longer than that, but we've been on this podcast journey since October, is trying to figure out if we should prioritize healing the feminine first or the masculine first. And then we deep dived and we figured out, oh my God, there's light and wild and dark, and now which one do I prioritize of that? Do we marry the two wild energies and work on that first? Or like, I have been so lost.
You're very stuck in the how.
I'm very stuck. So
I know all these things, but now how
do we do it? Yes. And so I've come to the conclusion and the understanding through research and us talking and writing 1,000 notes is that there is no right answer, which is the most annoying answer of all. Yeah. But it is the answer. So, and the reason is because when you work on your feminine wild, for example, she will automatically uplift your masculine wild. And it will be this dance, right? She will give, he will take, or vice versa. He will give and she will take. And you're going to have to kind of teach them how to dance together. And based on whatever your like childhood trauma or your wounds from when you were a teenager or anything like that will make the dance harder or easier.
Maybe some toe stepping.
Yeah, some toe stepping. Don't come up with another fucking analogy.
You're the one that says dance and marry.
I know. I was talking to myself. I was like, don't do it. I'm just like picturing choreography in my head. Don't do it, Catherine. Okay. So, however,
I'm picturing choreography.
What songs would they dance to?
Oh my God. We don't need any more pictures. We need the how.
We're getting to the how. We have some how for you. But yeah, just so that you kind of understand. Pick one, work on one. It will lead to the other side of the coin. They will get stronger. Then pick another one. And go back. And then forth. And then back. And then forth. And have an internal dance with yourself as you're going through your healing.
Yeah, you pick one and then just kind of like snowballs into the other ones. Just like pick one and then just kind of like see what comes up and maybe like pinpoint like, oh, this kind of feels like a light mask thing. Okay, let's maybe switch gears and start working on that. And then it'll bring up something else. And that's your literal journey.
Yes.
It's just like finding the things that need to be healed. But as they come up, right? Like you don't need to, but I like this, like just like write out all of your flaws and traumas and all of the things and pick one to start working on. And then it just...
Which office in the corporation are you clocking into today? And like, which desk are we working at right now?
Exactly.
And and like have that little board meeting that we talked about to like figure out which energy needs that help today.
Yeah.
And like maybe
which one's struggling more so than the other ones.
Yeah. And maybe light femme, she needs to call light Masc up and she's going to be like, yo, you need to come fix this fucking computer, man. I can't do my shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't
hot
be
IT guy coming in.
Yeah. Hot IT. Don't get me started on a hot IT guy. So yeah. Anyway, that's very distracting.
We love nerdy guys.
A type, you might say.
A
type, you might say. So, but we don't discriminate. There's nothing wrong with other types.
Oh, yeah. If we've got, like, big, handsome, strong, capable men who are also nerdy, that is just the chef's kiss of my type, I guess.
But we're talking about masculine right now.
I don't know.
We're in that headspace.
Sorry. I was like, if I was in a relationship with a woman, I'd be the more masculine, I think.
You think so?
I think so. Like a femme Masc version. Right? Like I don't dress like a man, says the woman in a
little man shirt. Yeah.
But I think I do have a lot of masculine energies within a woman relationship.
Interesting. A thing to explore in a future episode.
I know.
Interesting. Okay, back to what we're talking about here before we get totally derailed. We're just drinking in this episode. We usually don't let ourselves drink in our episodes.
No.
We're just very relaxed today. Okay, a little cute idea note thingy here for you to kind of picture some things in your brain. So our wild energy, our masculine wild energy, he fights for you, not with you, right? So if it feels like an internal fight, it's because something is not mended. What's the opposite of mended? Broken, shattered, whatever. Fractured, thank you. So there should never be an internal struggle between your energies. Should be. Easier said than done, right? But your feminine wild shouldn't be fighting with your masculine wild in a perfect world. So if there is some fight there, figure out why. No big deal. I'm sure that'll be really easy for you and take 5 whole minutes. But your wild masculine, he's there to fight for you. And your masculine dark is there to protect you, and your masculine light is there to guide you, right? So it kind of gets a little repetitive, but I like the repetitiveness because it's kind of a new concept.
Gets it in your brain.
It's kind of a new concept to put words to it and terms to it and pictures to it. But as we were talking about earlier, it's in us and we kind of already know it. The very first book I wrote ever had a very wounded masculine character in it, and he was the perfect picture of what a wounded masculine man is. In white and wild, wild and dark. My tongue wants to say both of those words at the same time. And it's just so funny now looking back and realizing that I knew what a broken masculine archetype looked like, and I was able to characterize that into this person, but I didn't know that's what I was doing. And that's kind of how I build characters in my books, is how wounded are they and where is their wound stemming from? Is it from fucking every single floor in the building, or is it just one floor in the building? And how redeemable are they and things like that. But so it's interesting, and I hope that when you're listening to these things, listening to our episodes, whatever we may be talking about, that while the words maybe you've heard them before in different ways, or maybe you've never heard them before at all, it's like this knowing in your body that like that's what that is. That's what this has been this whole fucking time. We talked about that a lot in our like femme side of this. It's like we knew something was missing, we knew something was wrong, something was disconnected, but we didn't know how to put the words to it. And that can be the hardest part, is, right, like we said, getting the guys into the car, getting the girls into the club, figuring out how to...
I mean, is it really hard to get girls into a club?
When was the last time we went to a club?
Because there's no more good clubs, okay?
There really isn't.
There's no more good clubs. All the ones we went to when we were younger are gone.
People don't be clubbing.
People don't be clubbing.
No. Okay. How to transform.
We figured it out, guys.
We figured it out. How to transform from men in a car to tree. So, no big deal. Just learn to trust yourself.
I find I have to say that one constantly.
Trust your intuition. Trust
I have to literally like put my energy into my hips and my legs and my feet, and just like I am like in my trust. And that's literally how I just like align all of my energies.
I hate how simple it sounds, but it's not. If you have wounds or traumas, it's not. So do your therapy, do your journaling, do your fucking self-exploration shit.
Something I've told you before, right, is like things have happened in the past, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen again. So you can trust that you are growing as a person, and that other people around you are growing as a person, right? And that everybody is growing, and you can trust that things won't always be the same, but you have to be consistent in your trust of the change. Trusting the unknown.
Absolutely. And that is where dark comes in, right? So he knows there is unknown, right? And he can make backup plans, but he's not allowed to keep you stuck, right? So I don't think we talked about the earthquake thing yet, or the tornado thing. No. Sorry. Okay. So like you said, and it was brilliant what you said, if Dark was driving, he wouldn't start the car. A
wounded Dark.
A wounded Dark wouldn't let you leave. No. So kind of go off that place. So like if say Dark was in the passenger seat and he had the map, right? He would be trying to juggle navigating and watching for things. So he would feel very dysregulated, right? When we are dysregulated human beings, our energies then get dysregulated. And they can't do their jobs.
Sporadic. Yeah, and they can't do their job. Exactly. Yeah. So many things are trying to focus on things that isn't their job.
Yeah. So say it's okay, so we're in the car, right? Be in the car with us in this metaphor.
We're in a car.
We're in a car. Metaphorically.
Step one.
We're in the car with
Get in the car.
So we're in the car and it's windy. Okay, so if you're wounded, it's really windy. It's pretty fucking windy. It's raining a little bit as well. But your wounded Dark would be like, he would react as if that is a tornado.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Twisters movie? The new Twisters movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So that he would be like, fuck, we're gonna be sucked up into a tornado. Yeah. Whereas it's like, or we could just drive carefully through the storm. Yeah. So just try to like find that balance between like awareness and like, okay, here's a plan B, here's a plan C, but we still are gonna drive through the storm. Because for me anyway, how my anxiety and how my depression works is like you know how people have like fight or flee, freeze or fawn? Yeah. I freeze.
Yeah, you freeze.
Freeze my favorite. Freeze is where I live. And so you just try to like get out of that and figure out where your response is. Sometimes it depends. But yeah, I guess because my Dark is so wounded, I do choose freeze.
Yeah.
And then fawn would be light, and then fight would be wild.
Ooh. Ding, 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 ding. That feels cool in my body.
Yeah, that's interesting. Little thoughts there.
Oh my god, is that how you can figure out like what parts are wounded based on your response?
Oh, did we just
based on your response?
I think so.
Holy shit. Okay, so if something scary happens and you freeze, your Dark is screaming at you saying like, nope, too scary. Don't start the car. Okay, and if something happens and you're like, I need to get the fuck out of here right now, that's your wild freaking out.
Yeah. Or fight, right?
Or fight. Yeah. Fight or flight.
Yeah, fight or flight. Yeah.
And then light is fawn, so that's where you're trying to like appease and keep the peace and everything.
This is what realizations are in real time. You guys are coming.
Oh my god!
Write it down.
Write that down. We need to write that down.
We're gonna write that down. Please pause. We're gonna write that down. Shalyn,
this goes for both masculine and feminine.
100%. And you know how we're always saying there's two sides to wild? That's why there's fight and flight.
Oh my god! The fucking chills I have right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Flight would be like cage, right?
Fight is cage. Fight is
table.
Bar table. Holy fucking shit!
This is why we waited to film until this week.
Oh my god!
We would not have made these connections last week.
Fuck no.
Okay, so
we're here.
We've had a calm. We're still reeling, but like
we're here.
So you ask yourself who's driving your car, and who is. Yeah, does somebody need a fucking break, right? Does light need to have a 15-minute nap and Dark can hold the map for 15 minutes? Or is wild like he is burnt out,
starting to fall asleep at the wheel? Not good.
Not great. So, you know, he goes and has a nap in the back, and the older two brothers, they come up, right? So everybody can lean on each other within the masculine and then feminine cores, and then they can also lean on each other.
Yeah.
Cross-referencing types as well.
Yeah.
Nobody's
board meeting, right?
Yeah.
Board meeting. If someone says, hey, I need help with this, there's 5 other people that can be like, yeah, I got you.
Right? I'm just picturing it in my head, and it's really beautiful.
The board meeting?
The board meeting, yeah. Me too. Trust yourself, check in with yourself, do your therapy, do your journaling, etc. Then how do you know when you have become the tree? How do you know when the brothers have gotten out of the car, ventured into the forest?
Or even like your tree is growing.
Yeah.
Right? because like it's going to be a lifelong journey.
Lifelong.
So, and like trees take a really long time to grow, right? So like once you know that you've spreaded,
yes,
that you have a little baby tree.
When roots are rooting and branches are
trunk is growing and leaves are starting to poke out, and you slowly climb your way up towards enlightenment.
Yes. Oh no.
Okay.
Is one of my favorite words.
So, how do you know? These are things that you're going to feel. Grounded and firm, right? So, think of yourself like a tree, right? They are grounded, they are steady, they're secure. There's no need to rush and there's no need to prove, right? Like a tree just grows.
It doesn't care how fast
it's
growing.
It doesn't care how fast it's growing. It just does its own thing. And that's what you need to do within yourself too, right? Like don't rush yourself. Go with the ebbs and flows of life, right? So when the tree loses its leaves, it grows and it puts its energy into its roots, and then it starts building down in there, and then in the spring and the summertime it expands and grows, right? So go with those ebb and flows. Centered, still, and steady, right? So again, a tree, I'm literally using a tree because it's the best analogy. It's centered, right? It grows from the center. You see the rings, it grows from the center out. It's still, like a tree doesn't fucking move unless you pick it up and move it. It's steady. Like trees get blasted around in the wind all of the time, and they don't usually move unless they're wounded. More energetic, less metaphoric. You're alert but not paranoid. You're protective and you're not possessive, and in your strength. Oh yes, you lead from strength, not fear. Okay, so you got your canopy, so like your light masculine energies. You have your canopy with purpose, they with room to adapt. So going back to an actual tree, trees will grow and bend. They're very adaptable, right? And they will still always just grow because that's what they need to do. So they just do it.
I had a picture when you said that.
Yes.
It's also like the feminine energy too, right? The flowers can grow through the pavement. Like plants will literally break cement to continue growing.
Yeah, because that's their purpose. Yeah. That's what they need to do, and they will do it. Masculine energy, no matter what. No matter what is in the way or whatever is challenging or blocking you, they fucking grow.
Yeah, it might take longer there, or whatever.
Yeah, it might take longer, and then once they do break through that cement, like fuck, that's gonna be a strong ass fucking tree. Think of the roots of that. Like the roots would be so strong. The trunk of it would be so strong, right? Because it's gone through the shit.
Yeah. Pain has been turned into power.
And pain is power. I love that one.
Love that. Okay. Anyway, sorry for interrupting you.
Go back. Perfect. A life force of channeled sacred intention. So again, I know, right? Such a good line. A tree has the intention to grow, right? You have your own intention as you journey on in your life to grow and expand and become more and more and more of who you were truly meant to be. Channel it into things with intention. And energy with intention. Intention is so powerful.
It is.
It's so powerful. Like if you have intention with everything that you do and everything that you be and who you are, like my intention today is to be a kind human. And then you be the kind human. You can be with it for yourself, you can be with it for your family, and you can do it in your actions.
Absolutely.
Masculine and feminine.
There's the why, right? Some people will talk about like how their why is very important to them.
It's so important.
And because it's very easy to get distracted or discouraged or fall off the wagon, right? If you're like, say you're going to the gym really, really good, and then you're sick and it's like, well, how do I get back to the gym? It's what gets you back in the gym or back writing your book or is your why.
Yeah,
your
and
motivation.
It's gotta be a deep why.
Yeah.
Right? So I've heard where you have your why and then you go deeper.
Deeper levels
of why. So like, okay, but why? Okay, but why?
Yep.
Okay, but why? And then like do it like 3 or 4 times and then you get to like the deep root. And I love me a deep root.
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely. Because in those moments where you're like, I don't want to fucking do this, it's like, okay. And that's okay. Maybe sometimes you don't want to go to the gym, right? I'm just using this as a metaphor.
It's the easiest one.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, is this a rest day? Am I being a brat?
Yeah.
am I torpedoing myself? Am I self-sabotaging? Or am I intentionally choosing to not do this today, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you're right. Intention is everything. It's more important than routines, schedules. You can buy as many planners as you want.
Exactly.
Print off as many color-coded charts as you want.
None of it will matter unless you have a solid why.
Yeah. And you stick by your intentions.
No longer fighting and reacting. So instead of reacting with anger or any one of these fight, flight, freeze, and fawn things.
Yeah.
So those are reactions, right? Instead, you need to respond, right? Let's step back, breathe. How do I want to move through this intentionally?
Yes. Yeah. Respond versus react, right?
Yes.
So our wounded masculine and our feminine as
Wounds
well.
will always react.
Yes. That's a reaction.
Yes.
Whereas a response is like something happens.
It's divine.
Yeah. You take the 10 seconds or the 5 deep breaths or whatever, and then you act, right? Yes. React and act are two different things. Yes. And the power is how you respond to that and the time you take to process what's just happened to you.
On the topic of responding, respond with presence, clarity, and purpose.
And that's the 3.
That's the 3 light, wild, dark, Masc and femme, really. Yeah. Right? So you respond with presence rather than spiraling into chaos because, that plan doesn't meet me with where I wanted it to be. Respond, okay, how can I move with this plan? Yeah. From a more grounded and clarity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Space.
So so just for an example here to kind of paint that a little bit deeper. So we have a coin, right? We talk about the double sides of the coin. So let's say the coin is presence, okay? So the masculine side of that coin is physically being in the room. The feminine side is being emotionally aware, emotionally intelligent. Okay? Yeah. So then let's do that again for clarity, okay? So the feminine side, this is the wiseness, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So help me out here. The masculine and feminine sides of clarity. Would this be light?
Feminine would be like a clear vision of what you're wanting, and then the masculine side of it would be the actionable, like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this to make that
get
happen.
There. Yeah, he makes the plan. Yeah, she says what. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. And then purpose is that intention.
Yes.
Okay. So the masculine side of the purpose, the masculine side of the intention is like the legacy. So we talk about legacy a lot when we talk about masculine energy. Because that's important. It's important for feminine energy too, right? But just stay with me. Because it's like what we leave behind when we're all done on this plane, on this earth in this lifetime, right? So but the masculine is like, what physical evidence am I leaving behind that I was here on this planet? Yeah. And the feminine side of that is like, how
did I make people feel?
Yeah, what emotional impact, what intellectual impact did I leave behind?
Much.
So those are your coins and understanding how those departments work.
That clicks so well for my brain. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what I needed.
Yes.
A coin.
And that's how it works in your body regardless of who you are, right?
Yes.
So, and then to know the truth, the final I have achieved the tree is being safe in your own body, knowing that your feminine energy and your masculine energy are safe with each other, getting to that boardroom, if you will, and knowing that you can have the hard conversations with yourself, but then also with other people, and having the other people know that they're safe with you.
Get all those people in the elevator, get them up to the boardroom, and we're like, okay, this is where we're at.
Nobody got punched in an elevator? Good.
Nobody's punched in the elevator. Nobody's crying in the elevator, right? We are all coming up to that board meeting to sit down and discuss.
Yes.
Feelings would be felt, emotions will be heard, things that you want to do will be written down.
Yes.
Yeah.
A meeting will be had.
Meeting will be had, and you need to choose to have that meeting and get them all up in the elevator and sit them down.
Yeah.
I think that's like the first step. That's how you figure out where did we say it earlier? Here. Healing one will snowball to heal the others.
Yes.
So that's where that's your board meeting, right? You see who is hurting the most.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, so getting everyone into the elevator is like getting all of the guys in the car.
Yeah.
And then
getting the girls into the car.
I'm kind of going rogue here for a second, so stick with me for a second.
This whole episode has been practically rogue. That's
so
all of our points.
We can just babble now. So you talk about getting the guys in the car to get to the forest to do the tree thing, and I think that that's beautiful.
Yes.
What if we're getting the girls in the car to go to the club?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right? And we can go off of that as well, right? Dark femme, she's like, okay, we need our pepper spray and we need to be aware that we're, watching out for whatever's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they were all fighting in the house fighting over the bathroom and getting ready and shit and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they get to the club and they walk into the club and Wild's like, I'm going to go dance over here. And Dark's like, I'm going to sit in the fucking corner and make sure you guys are safe or whatever, right? And so
and Light's chatting it up at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's flirting with the DJ.
Flirting with the DJ.
And Wild is just gone.
Just gone.
Or in a cage.
Yes.
Depending on who you are. So yeah, get them in the car, get them to the place where the transformation happens, which is the forest or the club in our little metaphors. And then once
the transformation is the sacred corp.
Yes. Yes. And if you want,
that's their next stop after the forest and the bar.
Yes. Clearly we're millennials for sure. Raised on Twilight and clubbing. Everything happens in those two.
And Girl Boss.
And Girl Boss.
Fucking tower of Sacred Fen came from, or Sacred Union.
Yeah. And then you can get everybody into the elevator and have the meeting. So
have the deep conversations with yourself.
And the important thing to note here is kind of like maybe potentially a final note is like we would not have come to the conclusions that we came to throughout the series if we didn't explore every single person, right? Every single archetype, and both sides of those coins.
Yes.
So that really goes to show, hopefully, you who are listening, that you need focus on all of them, and it's a lot, and it's overwhelming, and we've given you a lot of information in these two mini series.
Yes.
But they're here for you to like rewatch and do your own exploration and do your own metaphors, do your own analogies. You don't have to listen to the way that we say everything, because things that work for me don't work for you, vice versa, right? We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But hopefully putting names on things and words to things help it kind of click in your brain. And we want to know your thoughts for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. You can find us at the Energy Within podcast, and that's on all platforms. Thank you so much for joining this wild ride, literally and metaphorically.
Yes.
Next time,
new series.
Next time we're starting a New Year's. We're having a chakra summer.
I'm very excited.
Chakra summer. So we're gonna go through. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 episodes of chakras. So the first one we're gonna go a bit more in depth. I know we've talked about the chakras, but that was just one episode, all of them in there. So we're gonna go a little bit more in depth about it. We're starting off with the root chakra and the sacral chakra. Talk about blocks, moving the energy through, how you can kind of cultivate your own healing within those chakras. The chakras are also kind of lined up with like feminine and masculine energies as well as elemental energies.
Because everything is connected.
Because it's all connected. So we're just going to go a bit more in depth about those two. And then moving forward. So
I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be lots
I'm going to learn so much.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching. And we hope that you see your energy and your power today.